Imagine that there is another version of yourself living in a parallel reality, a different dimension, where every choice you make, every path you take, is being observed by that version. Like an infinite reflecting mirror, every action, thought, and emotion you experience creates a new branch of reality, where an alternate you lives out the consequences of that very decision. What if that parallel version is trying to communicate with you, sending subtle signals to guide, remind, or share something important? It may sound like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but in fact, quantum physics has opened up a mysterious concept. The world we live in is just one of countless possible realities. According to the principle of quantum superposition, all possibilities exist simultaneously, and only when our consciousness chooses a specific one does it become the reality we experience. This means that, at the deepest level of existence, there could be countless yous, each living in a different timeline, each facing different outcomes of the same initial set of events. In those realities, there may be versions of you living a wonderful life, fulfilled and accomplished. Conversely, there may also be versions going through challenges or confusion. But what unites all these versions is the deep, invisible connection with you, the one living in this present reality. And if you could tune your consciousness to synchronize with those other versions, what might happen? Could you learn from them, receive guidance or intuitive insights based on the choices they've already made? Realizing that you have parallel versions of yourself is not just a philosophical or spiritual curiosity. It is a gateway to deeper self-understanding, to untapped potential, and to the path of your spiritual evolution. When you begin to connect with other versions of yourself, you not only expand your perspective on life, but also open a new path where you can learn, grow, and integrate with a higher version of who you are. As you explore the link between yourself and these parallel versions, a new world gradually unfolds, where you can view life, your choices, and your potential through a broader, more profound lens. Connecting with alternate selves isn't just symbolic or spiritual. It can become a powerful tool for personal and spiritual development. Imagine that in another reality, a version of you has already overcome the very challenges you're facing now. That version may have learned vital lessons, developed confidence and peace, or taken courageous steps leading to success and happiness. When you synchronize your energy with that version, that is, when you align your vibrational frequency, awareness, and emotional state, you can access the wisdom, intuition, and direction that version carries. Each version of you is living a different life script, but all are real possibilities reflecting your infinite inner potential. Some versions may be deeply aligned with the universe, expressing the most noble essence of your being. Others may be facing difficulties, learning and growing through trials. However, the key point is, every version offers you a gift, perhaps a new perspective, a valuable lesson, or fresh guidance for the present. By becoming aware of the existence of these parallel realities, you are opening a door to self-knowledge that goes beyond ordinary limits. This is no longer just the realm of imagination, but a journey of unlocking potential and awakening consciousness. Connecting with your other versions is like accessing a living library of experience, insight, and wisdom that you can apply to your current life. Through the process of energy synchronization with those versions, whether through meditation, intuition, or subtle signs in life, you gradually transform your own reality. You don't just change your perspective, but begin to manifest possibilities that already exist in other dimensions. And from there, you enter an energetic field of infinite potential, where every step can bring you closer to the best version of yourself. Exploring and connecting with parallel versions not only helps you understand yourself more clearly, but also awakens hidden qualities, new opportunities, and brings you closer to your true life purpose, the path your soul chose before entering this reality. The concept of parallel realities is not just a mystical hypothesis. It's a subject deeply explored by both science and spirituality. From a spiritual perspective, the universe is seen as an infinite network of coexisting dimensions. In each of those dimensions exists another version of you, living different lives, reflecting all the possibilities that your thoughts, choices, and energy can create. Every intention, every emotion, every action you take can open a new reality branch, where you continue your journey in a different context and outcome. Spiritual traditions say these realities don't arise by chance, but are formed from a field of universal consciousness. Every time you think, dream, or set an intention, no matter how small, you contribute to the creation of a new timeline. In that timeline, a version of you is living a different story, perhaps the life you long for, or a challenge you've avoided. Whether you're aware of it or not, the energy you emit is weaving countless coexisting worlds, and you are the central creator of them all. At the same time, quantum physics, a science studying the microscopic world, also opens up a breathtaking horizon. According to the principle of quantum superposition, fundamental particles can exist in multiple states at once until observed. This leads to a stunning hypothesis. If all possibilities exist simultaneously at the quantum level, then the entire reality, including you and the universe around you, may exist in countless variations. Every decision you make, every possibility you've ever considered, already exists in some version of reality. So what determines which reality you live in? The answer is consciousness. Your consciousness acts like the observer that collapses those infinite possibilities into the specific reality you are experiencing. In other words, you're not trapped on a fixed path. You're choosing your reality in every moment through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. The combination of spirituality and science brings a profound message. Each version of you is a manifestation of some aspect of your infinite potential. These realities aren't separate, only divided by very thin frequency layers, and they're all connected through a unified field of consciousness, which is you at the soul level. Understanding this expands your view of yourself and reveals how to access versions of you that are fulfilled and aligned. A thought-provoking question arises. If all parallel realities exist simultaneously, how can you change the reality you're experiencing? The answer lies in a core principle: vibrational frequency. In both energy science and spirituality, everything in the universe, including you, vibrates at a certain frequency. Each reality is not a separate place somewhere in space, but a wave of reality with a distinct frequency. Therefore, when you change your vibrational frequency, you're not merely changing your emotions or mood. You're literally shifting waves, moving from one timeline to another. For example, if you regularly emit vibrations of fear, lack, or anger, you'll sync with a reality that reflects exactly those energies, where experiences tend to reinforce and repeat negative emotions. Conversely, when you begin to elevate your frequency through gratitude, presence, love, and trust, you slowly synchronize with a completely different reality, where you attract better opportunities, more positive people, and experiences of healing and growth. Imagine you're a radio. Each timeline is a broadcast station. When you change the tuning knob of your internal emotions and thoughts, you're not modifying the existing station. You're switching to an entirely different one. And because all timelines already exist in parallel, you don't need to create a new reality. You simply need to change the channel to access it. This explains why some people suddenly shift their lives in a positive direction after powerful moments of inner awakening. When they wake up from an old pattern, one filled with anxiety, insecurity, and limitation, and enter a higher state of self-awareness, they don't just renew their mindset, they are literally stepping into a reality that is vibrationally different. Changing your reality doesn't come from forcing external circumstances to change. Rather, it begins with an inner adjustment. You need to harmonize with a frequency aligned with the reality you desire. When you consistently maintain this vibration, the external expressions, people, situations, and even coincidences will begin to shift accordingly. Ultimately, you are not a victim trapped in a single version of life. You are the operator of your own frequency tuner. And the moment you realize that power, the door to better timelines will begin to open, not through magic, but through deep transformation from within. The universe operates on the principle of frequency synchronization, an invisible but immensely powerful law. When you begin to raise your own vibration by nurturing positive emotions like gratitude, love, peace, or deep trust in life, you will attract experiences and people that resonate with your frequency. This change doesn't happen by chance. It's a form of vibrational compatibility, where everything in your reality begins to align with the frequency you emit. Just as two musical instruments tuned to the same pitch resonate and amplify each other's sound, you and the universe are in constant resonance. If you carry a field of light, clarity, and awareness, you become a magnet attracting timelines that reflect exactly those qualities. This explains why, during times when you feel joyful, grateful, and inspired, miracles seem to occur more frequently, doors of opportunity open more naturally, and fated encounters happen at just the right moment. On the other hand, when you continuously maintain the frequency of fear, victimhood, or resistance to life, you also synchronize with a reality filled with elements that reinforce those emotions. But most importantly, you always have a choice. You're not bound to a single timeline. Each thought, feeling, and action you take is like a frequency selection. You can adjust it at any time to shift to a different timeline. The universe does not punish you. It simply reflects back the frequency you emit in a neutral and objective way. And once you become aware of this, you'll understand that you are the creator of your own reality. Instead of trying to control external conditions, you'll learn to adjust the inner realm, where the true root of all transformation lies. Imagine life as a multidimensional labyrinth, where millions of versions of you exist simultaneously across different branches. The version experiencing happiness, success, and awakening has always existed. The question is, are you synchronized with that version? And if not, what must you change internally to align with that frequency? Timeline shifting does not require extreme effort. It begins with awareness. By becoming more conscious of the emotions, thoughts, and vibrations you carry each day. From there, step by step, you shift, gently but profoundly, into a timeline that reflects the highest version of yourself. Shifting timelines is not some far-fetched miracle, but rather a natural process that occurs when you begin to change internally. Everything you're experiencing is a result of the frequency you emit in each moment. And the astonishing truth is, you can change that frequency instantly, simply by altering your perception and vibrational state. Time is not a straight line where you can only move forward. Instead, it's a multidimensional structure where countless timelines exist simultaneously. Every decision, every emotional state, every thought, like quantum switches, can move you into an entirely different timeline. Perhaps you're living in a reality filled with challenges, but right now, there is also a timeline where you've resolved the issue, healed, awakened, and are living in deep harmony. So how do you move into that timeline? Not by escaping or resisting your current reality, but by consciously accepting it and beginning to change how you respond to life. When you stop seeing things from a place of fear, anxiety, or judgment, and instead approach life with gratitude, trust, and peace, you are tuning your frequency to match softer, more meaningful timelines. Specifically, you can observe this change through subtle yet meaningful signs in your life, sudden opportunities appearing, people with guiding energy entering your path, or an unstoppable flow of creative inspiration. This is not coincidence. It is a signal that you are syncing with a higher timeline. This transformation may also come with feelings of isolation or disorientation. That is the phase where you're unplugging from the old timeline to step into a new reality. Don't be afraid. Allow yourself to be consciously empty, because from that void, new possibilities can emerge. Remember, no one but you can activate a new timeline. Every tool, piece of knowledge, or external guidance is merely a reflection of your inner readiness. When you choose to live consciously with love, clarity, and commitment to your higher self, the entire universe rearranges itself to reflect that choice. Timeline transformation is not about changing the world. It's about changing the one who observes the world. When you change, everything changes. You need to understand, you don't need to change the world. You only need to change yourself. Every experience, person, and event you encounter is a direct reflection of the inner energy you carry. The universe doesn't operate through reward or punishment. It simply mirrors what you are radiating. The truth is, you're not here to heal others, save the world, or awaken all of humanity. Those may be side effects, but the first and deepest purpose is that you must heal and awaken yourself. When you do that, You naturally shift your energy field, and like a new resonant nucleus, you will naturally influence those around you. No need to convince, no need to force. This is why you may notice close friends drifting away or your living environment no longer feeling aligned. Don't panic. This doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're changing your frequency, and what no longer resonates with your new vibration will naturally fade away. Let that process unfold without resistance. Just like tuning a radio, you can't listen to two stations at once, and you can't live in two layers of reality simultaneously. Awakening is not a destination. It's a continuous state of being. Once you begin to see that every event carries a message, every person plays a role in your learning journey, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow, you've already stepped into an entirely different reality. Awakening doesn't mean you're always positive, always joyful, or always enlightened. It simply means you begin to observe yourself honestly. When you're angry, you recognize it without denial. When you're in pain, you don't suppress it, but allow it to be seen and dissolved. Awakening is the full presence with everything that is happening within you, without judgment, without avoidance, without pretending. And when you live like that, truthfully, clearly, and in sync with your heart, you don't need to do anything great to create change. Your presence alone becomes a guiding light for others to find themselves. That is the silent power of an awakened being, not leading with words, but with the state of their existence. We often believe we must strive and struggle to get what we want, but on the spiritual awakening journey, you'll realize a completely different truth. Everything meant for you will come naturally, without force or exhausting effort. When you begin to live in alignment with your true self, meaning you no longer try to become someone else, no longer live according to societal expectations or outdated beliefs, you fall into harmony with the universe. In that state, everything you need to grow will find its way to you. Relationships, opportunities, lessons, even challenges. They all show up at the right time, in the right way, as if an invisible intelligence is orchestrating everything on your behalf. You no longer chase goals blindly. You begin to understand that what is truly meant for you will never miss you. Not because you deserve it more than others, but because you become vibrationally aligned with it. The universe doesn't respond to your begging or expectations. It responds to the energy you emit in each present moment. Attraction doesn't happen through frantic action, but through relaxing into yourself, becoming whole and complete from within. In that state, you don't need to prove, compete, or scream to be heard. Your presence becomes magnetic, and what you need is also seeking you. This doesn't mean you sit idle and do nothing. Instead, you act from clarity, not from lack. You act from joy, from inspiration, not from fear or from a need to succeed. When you live this way, you step out of the energy of stress and into the flow of synchronicity. Imagine the universe as a river. If you try to swim upstream, you'll exhaust yourself and go nowhere. But when you learn to surrender, stay aware, and let the current guide you, you'll find yourself arriving where you need to be, sometimes even faster than your original plan. So instead of worrying, when will it happen? Ask yourself, am I currently living in alignment with my truth? Because what you seek is also seeking you, and it will arrive the moment you become the person ready to receive it. In life, we've all experienced moments of strong intuition, an inner nudge not based on clear logic or evidence. It might be a deep hunch, an inner voice guiding you toward a certain path. But did you know that these sensations might actually be how another version of you, existing in a parallel reality, is trying to communicate and guide you? Intuition is not a mystery or distant myth. It is a subtle form of communication from your parallel selves existing in different dimensions. Sudden intense emotions or thoughts that seem to shift your behavior or mindset without clear reason may be signals from another version of you, one who has already experienced or better understands the path ahead. You might notice changes in your thinking, preferences, or even daily habits that you can't explain. You may suddenly develop new interests or change your lifestyle naturally without it feeling like a conscious decision. This is a sign that another version of you is influencing your current reality, transferring their energy and experience to you. That change isn't random. It's a reception of positive energy, helping you move closer to your ideal self. Such shifts in behavior, thoughts, and emotions shouldn't be dismissed or resisted. Instead, they're invitations to expand awareness, embrace multidimensional connection, and tap into the vast potential within you. When you pay attention and listen to these feelings and changes, you can open new doors to deeper personal growth. It also helps you understand that life doesn't always follow a linear path. It's an interweaving of energy streams and parallel potentials coexisting at once. That's why learning to recognize and embrace signals from your other selves can help you unlock dormant abilities and gain the confidence to follow the path you already chose in another dimension. Sudden behavior changes, strong intuitive urges, or unexplainable emotional surges could be the first signs of your deeper integration with the energy field of your parallel versions. Once you begin to identify this, you can intentionally adjust your vibrational frequency, elevate your awareness, and unlock hidden inner potentials. So instead of feeling confused or anxious when you notice yourself changing without clear reason, see it as a sign that you're being connected with a higher or more experienced version of yourself. Take time to observe and feel it, allow yourself to merge with this new energy, and use it as a compass for your personal growth journey. In this way, unconscious changes in your thoughts and behavior are not just random phenomena, they are profound messages from yourself in other dimensions, helping you move closer to your best self, opening the door to positive transformation and continuous evolution in your current life. The next important step is learning how to tune your energy so that this connection becomes clearer and stronger. Adjusting your own vibrational frequency, also known as vibrational attunement, is a practice that needs to be cultivated and maintained daily. Everything in the universe is energy, and that energy vibrates at various frequencies. Every thought, feeling, and action emits its own unique vibration, and those vibrations resonate with parallel realities of matching frequencies. When we talk about parallel realities, we're referring to vibrational states that simultaneously exist. For example, a version of you living in abundance and inner peace emits a higher frequency and attracts corresponding experiences. To connect and sync with that version, you need to raise your own vibrational frequency. It's important to realize that your vibration isn't fixed. It can be shifted by the quality of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Basic techniques to raise your vibration include practicing gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion. When you cultivate these positive emotions, you not only improve your inner state, but naturally draw closer to the version of you living in harmony and wholeness. For example, practicing daily gratitude is a simple yet powerful way to raise your vibration. When you focus on the positives and feel grateful for what you already have, you create an energy field that attracts more goodness. Through this, you are truly syncing with the version of you that lives in fulfillment and joy. However, maintaining a high vibration isn't easy and requires consistent effort. You can build daily habits to keep yourself in a positive energy state, such as meditation, physical movement, healthy eating, and consciously choosing your words and thoughts. These actions help clear negative energy and create space for a deeper connection with your parallel versions. Finally, awareness in every action is crucial. Don't perform vibrational practices mechanically. Do them with clear intent, that you are tuning your energy to align with your higher self. Each positive habit becomes a bridge between your current reality and the maximum potential you are capable of reaching.